Before we begin, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, because the mysteries we reveal here are unlike anything you've ever heard, and you don't want to miss what comes next. Now imagine this: a discovery buried for more than 12,000 years, older than the pyramids, older than recorded history, suddenly uncovered in the middle of a remote landscape. But what exactly did archaeologists find beneath the earth? Why are experts unable to explain its purpose, its construction, or even who created it? And how could something so ancient appear so advanced, as if it belonged to a civilization far ahead of its time? As the dust settled around the excavation site, researchers began noticing patterns carved with precision, stones arranged in perfect alignment, and symbols that do not match any known culture. Was this place a temple, a message left for the future, or evidence of a forgotten chapter in human history? Some believe it challenges everything we know about early civilization, pushing back the timeline by thousands of years. Others argue it should not exist at all, but the deeper investigators dig, the stranger this mystery becomes. What kind of people lived here when the world was still frozen from the last ice age? How did they transport massive stone pillars without wheels, metal tools, or written language? And most disturbing of all, why did they suddenly disappear, leaving no trace except for this silent structure rising from the earth? Stay with us, because in the next moments, you'll hear details that even the most respected researchers refuse to agree on. And by the end, you may question everything you thought you knew about human origins. Ready to uncover what archaeologists still can't explain? Let's go deeper into the mystery. When archaeologists first stepped onto this windswept hill in southeastern Turkey, they expected nothing more than scattered stones and traces of ancient shepherds. Instead, as excavation began, enormous T-shaped pillars emerged from the ground, each weighing up to 50 tons and arranged in perfect circular formations. These stones were not rough or primitive. They were carved with astonishing precision, featuring lions, snakes, vultures, foxes, and symbols that do not resemble any known written language. The deeper teams dug, the more impossible the site seemed. There were no signs of farming, no pottery, no permanent settlements. Yet someone gathered hundreds of workers and organized the construction of a monumental complex thousands of years before humanity is believed to have created cities. Even stranger, the pillars were deliberately buried by the same people who built them, as if they wanted the site to be hidden for eternity. Soil samples revealed that layer after layer was intentionally filled, preserving the structures almost perfectly. But why would a civilization invest unimaginable effort into building something so massive, only to cover it on purpose? Researchers cannot trace any tools used to carve the stones, and no graves or human remains were found to suggest that this was a burial site. Some think it served as a ceremonial center where hunter-gatherer groups gathered from distant regions. Others propose that this was the birthplace of religion itself, a place where early humans first united under shared beliefs before organizing societies. Yet none of these theories explain how such architectural mastery existed during the Stone Age, when humans were thought to live in small nomadic bands. The pillars continue to challenge every timeline, every assumption, and every textbook. If this discovery is real, and it is, then history is missing an entire chapter. As researchers mapped the site in detail, something even more unsettling came to light. The arrangement of the pillars was not random. Each circular enclosure seemed to follow a precise layout, with two central monoliths towering above the others, as if representing figures of great importance. Some archaeologists noticed that the enclosures appeared to align with celestial patterns, possibly tracking stars or seasonal cycles thousands of years before the invention of calendars. If true, this would mean that the builders possessed astronomical knowledge far beyond what is believed possible for hunter-gatherers of the late Ice Age. Ground-penetrating scans revealed that what had been uncovered so far was only a small portion of the entire complex. Dozens of additional structures still lay buried beneath the hillside, untouched, waiting to be explored. Every new discovery raised more questions instead of providing answers. Why would a society with no evidence of agriculture invest so much energy into a site of this scale? And how did they organize labor without written instructions, centralized leadership, or permanent housing? The carvings added another layer of mystery. Many of the animals depicted were dangerous predators, scorpions, wild boars, and serpents, yet they appeared alongside abstract symbols that have no known parallels. Some experts suggest these images may represent mythologies older than any recorded belief system, a window into the earliest spiritual imagination. Others argue that the symbols could be messages, warnings, or records of events long forgotten. But the most puzzling detail is the absence of daily life. No hearths, no homes, no trash pits, nothing that indicates people lived here. It was as if this place existed solely for gathering, ritual, or something even more mysterious. And then comes the most chilling possibility. What if this structure was not the beginning of civilization, but the last trace of one that came before? As excavations expanded, scientists uncovered evidence suggesting that the site was abandoned just as suddenly as it was built. There were no signs of destruction, no traces of war, fire, or natural disaster. Instead, the structures were intentionally sealed beneath layers of sediment, as if the builders wanted the world to forget it ever existed. This deliberate burial preserved the stone so perfectly that even the smallest carvings remained sharp after 12 millennia underground. But the mystery deepened when researchers analyzed the surrounding landscape. At the time this complex was constructed, the world was emerging from the last ice age. Massive glaciers were melting, sea levels were rising, and climate patterns were shifting dramatically. Some scholars propose that the people who gathered here may have witnessed catastrophic environmental changes and encoded their stories into stone as a warning or record. Others believe the burial could represent the end of a belief system, a symbolic closure performed by the very civilization that created it. Yet the biggest contradiction remains. This site predates agriculture by thousands of years, but shortly after its construction, farming appears in the region for the first time in human history. Grain cultivation, animal domestication, and settled villages emerge almost immediately after the complex's use declines, leading some researchers to rethink the origins of civilization. Instead of religion evolving from farming societies, what if farming evolved from religion? What if human groups gathered here for ritual purposes, and those gatherings required a stable food supply, triggering the birth of agriculture itself? If that is true, this site is not merely ancient. It is the turning point that transformed humanity forever. Stay with us, because the next discoveries challenge logic even further. Even with so many unanswered questions, what has already been uncovered is enough to challenge everything we thought we knew about the origins of civilization. The precision of the carvings, the deliberate burial, and the scale of the structures suggest that this site was not an isolated effort, but the work of a people with knowledge far beyond what history has ever recorded. And if only a small portion has been revealed so far, the greatest secrets may still be waiting beneath the earth, untouched for 12,000 years. If you want to follow every new discovery and uncover what archaeologists still cannot explain, subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, and stay with us. The next revelation may surface at any moment, and you won't want to miss what comes next.